Okay, so I'm going to get ready to pass a prop firm trading gold with my good friend John Melly. So in order to do that, I want to get ready and just do an in-depth analysis getting started so that I go in well prepared Monday morning, that I know exactly what I'm going to do. So we're going to start by looking at the higher time frame and break it down. Okay, so the first thing we want to take a look at here is the monthly chart. So what I want to notice is that on the monthly chart, this thing is sideways, right? And so does that mean anything for short-term trades? Not really, okay, not really. But it does give us an idea of where the bottom is, right? So 1884, it was there last month, and then a couple in June it was there as well. So we know that right now we're 1925. We've only got a few, like $40 or $50 to get down to the bottom here. So that's helpful, right? And so we also know that it's probably going to stop down there. So now I want to look at weekly. What do we notice on weekly? Well, are we in a trend? No. We got over here to the left, we have some resistance. We're in a channel, and we're back in this channel. So what can we expect? Well, we've got a moving average here on the weekly, the 50-period moving average. Okay, so that might be something we want to pay attention to, right? In addition, it's touching this previous week. So we want to mark that. That's 1900, right? That's also a really important level. So what I'm thinking of here is probably a big fat buy on the $1,900 level, okay? Just from there's a bounce here. However, it could keep going down and we get at 1884 is another level that I would be interested in buying. Now, what other levels would I want to be interested in? Well, last week's high and the previous week's high, which is 1947. And then right over here at the top of this channel, which was a monthly level as well, 1985. Okay, so we did have this previous week's high here, but I'm not going to mark that just because it's right in the middle. And so we also do have this week's low. But, 1913. It might get a small bounce off that level, so I'm going to mark it, but it's not going to be anything critical. The last thing I want to note here is that we do have the MACD moving lower, okay? And so if we zoom out a little bit, you can see we're really sideways. We're really sideways on this thing ever since 2020. This is just going sideways, okay? What I would note, though, is if we get a MACD cross on the weekly, the last time that happened, which was right here, we did have a pretty nice drop from 18 all the way down to 16, so $200 drop. Okay, so if we get a break below this moving average and a break below here, we could see some continued selling. Okay, now let's go to a daily time frame. All right, daily time frame. So daily, we're bounced off the level. We got a key zone over here, key zone right here. Now we're moving lower. We bounced off of 1913. So I had marked that as a potential level, and you can see that it's hit here, here, and here. And on a weekly, we saw the bounce there. The moving average is flat. So again, we got no trend. Look at this crunchiness. Right, this is really flat and windy and twisted. There's nothing happening here this month. Okay, so we broke below the moving average, we broke down and we retested. So this is going to be very difficult to try to catch any kind of trend, right? If it breaks below 1913, it could start a trend, but even so, we got 1900 to deal with in 1880. So that tells me that the very best way to trade this right now is trendless, which is range trading and bouncing off of levels. Okay, so we'll go back to a 4-hour now to kind of get another view here of it and just kind of see. Okay, so again, we've got no new levels really to notice. The 1900 level and the 1884, same levels. Okay, so let's go to a 1 hour. And So 1 hour, we don't really have anything new. You know, some of these bottoms could stop early. Okay, right now we've been winding and twisting. And so at this point, we could get to 1913 or 1900. Okay. And then lastly, let's look at the 15-minute. Okay, 15-minute, we did break below a trend line right here. And so we could be headed lower to 1913. Okay, so now the way that I'm gonna trade this is I'm going to be looking for these levels right here. And you know, on the 15-minute, there could be a level right here, and I'm gonna just draw this and I'm gonna put it in a different color. Let's just take this and change it to green right here. And there we go. Okay, so there it is in green. Okay, and I'm going to be watching this. Look at the weekly. Okay, back up, and we're going to zoom up real big. And I just wanted to see. So that was right there. Look at that. The weekly of the previous high. That was my suspicion. So 1930. Okay. So now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be looking for price to bounce off of some of these levels. Structures are really important. So right now we do have a level here and it's bouncing down. So so I have this little area, okay, little area in here. See if I can draw a shape in here. Okay, that we're inside. Now it could open or close below this. I don't know, but what I'm looking for is maybe a bounce out and a retest and a go down here. Okay, so I'm not trading till Monday morning, and I'm going to talk about the money management because I have to make this 100,000. I'm going to do it live, so watch the description link. The link is there. You can subscribe to watch. We're going to do it live, and I'm going to talk about money management, but I've got $100,000. I got to make 10,000. So I want to try to go with pretty big size, and the way to go with pretty big size is to try to catch a move, you know, put a pretty tight stop and to catch a move. Now, in doing that, there's some risks. The risk is that the spread's going to take you out and then it's going to go in your direction, and that's the worst, right? So we want to be very careful. We still want to give it some room. But if you've got a bounce off of a key level and a nice break, you can do that. So in this case, you know, I'm probably not going to take this first trade because it's going to be already, by Monday, this will probably be over. But what I would do if this was Monday morning, I would watch and see if it bounced off this level and broke below. If it would, I would enter on the break below around 1923, and I'd put my stop at 1926. So I'd put like a $3 stop, with the goal of trying to get it down to 1913. Okay, that would be the goal. Now, also, if it really starts running, and you know, this is going to be Monday, so there's no news. You got to check the news. Monday is going to be a slow day. So it doesn't really mean anything. It still could move, but you'll notice here that I was at a 1 hour, or that was a 2 hour chart. Monday, it could get down to 19, or Monday and Tuesday. So there's a possibility on this break that we get a big move down, right? And if we look at some of the moves in the past, like this one, it went from level 1 to level 2, right? It went from level 1 to level 2. We got the MACD dropping lower. We could go easily from level 1 to level 2. I love trading zones, and so I love trading this bounce. There's a bounce here and a bounce here. I love trading that, but you know what? Sometimes the market gets all these people that get caught on buying in here. So you want to be careful. Take a look. This one was a big, strong break. It was catching people that were shorting, and it just didn't work, and it went from level 1, level 1, level 2, all the way up here to level 3. So that could happen again. We could come down, get some weakness, go 1 and 2. And in that case, you know, one big trade could potentially take me out, right? And that's ultimately the goal on a prop test, is to get this thing passed quickly. And I had mentioned, for those of you that follow along with some of my stuff, I mentioned that I interviewed John Melly in a recent podcast interview, so I'm going to mention that. I'm going to link to that in the description, John Melly's interview, and we talked a little bit about trading gold. It's very interesting. He shared some good stuff. But we're going to do it live together. John's going to help me. This is my initial analysis. I don't know. You guys have any other insight of things that I'm missing? Let me know, because I need as much help as I can get on this. I always say it's good to trade it together and not to trade alone. And that's why I'm trading with John, right? If you're going to do something, do it with a friend. And I know John is great. He's a great trader. So that's also why I'm getting your guys' feedback as well. All right. Any other questions, comments, feedback, whatever, let me know. Thanks. And hopefully we'll see you on Monday morning. Go ahead and check the links in the description.